highly favored one of the Lord, thanks for joining me on the Healing Streams Reflection. The title for today's post is The Lessons of Love. Beloved, many people have the wrong view of the Lord's love. They sincerely believe there is something they can do to earn it, but there isn't. Others falsely assume that they can lose His love. And this is certainly not true either. Instead of turning to God when problems come, they run and hide. That is what Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden. They knew it was wrong to break the Lord's command. But instead of seeking His forgiveness, they reacted out of shame and hid themselves from the one who created them and loved them completely. Does sin hurt the heart of God? Absolutely. But it is not stronger than His love or ability to forgive. When we make a wrong choice or yield to temptation, we should immediately turn to Him in prayer. At times, the consequences of sin may seem grave, but one of the greatest lessons you can learn is that God uses even your worst mistakes to teach you deeper lessons about His love and forgiveness. Satan may try to persuade you to believe that you have failed and God is no longer interested in your life. The enemy will attack you with lies that torment your heart as he seeks to keep you from abiding in God's awesome care. But you do not have to listen to his taunts. Jesus makes it clear. Satan is a liar, and there is no truth within him. John 8:44. He will lure you, but you do not have to sin. There is a way to gain freedom from every temptation, and it is through a personal loving relationship with the Son of the living God. Every now and then, I meet someone who has been hurt so deeply that on the surface, the despair seems unimaginable. But it's never too big for God. He is our greatest source of strength and hope. He has the ability to heal every wound and fully restore what sin has shattered and stripped away. But we must first receive His gracious gift of love. Only then we will take the risk of loving and being loved by others, which is what changes life for the better. The author of Proverbs writes, "Love covers all transgressions." Proverbs chapter 10, verse 12. The Good News Bible says it this way: love forgives all offenses. God, motivated by His infinite love, is the one who covered Adam and Eve's nakedness. Genesis chapter 3 verse 21 tells us. He purposefully displayed His care without measure, and He still does so today. It is amazing how people go through life wrapped up in three things: me, self, and I. They never take time to watch for God's subtle expressions of grace and compassion. They are lovely caught up in the noise and fast pace of a world that is spinning out of control. And they wonder why they feel empty. Some may even have the love of God in their hearts, and yet they fail to take the time to let it touch and change them. Sometimes what's necessary is a shift focus. Consider the story from John chapter 8, 3 to 11 about the woman caught in the act of adultery. She was used by the Pharisees to entrap Jesus. However, the plan quickly collapsed when our Savior gave a chilling challenge to everyone present. He who is without sin among you, let him be the first to throw a stone at her. Verse 7 of John 8. No stones were thrown that day. One by one, they were laid down because each person there was in need of a Savior. All had sinned. The crowd had already dispersed by the time Jesus turned and asked the woman at his feet, "Where are they? Did no one condemn you?" Can you imagine the fear, shame, and insecurity she had been feeling? But there is something marvelous about God's presence that changes even the most sinful individual into a person who simply wants to know divine love. She answered, "No one, Lord." There it was, the single word that makes an eternal difference in our lives. Adonai, Lord, and the one who saves. "I do not condemn you either." Jesus told her, "Go. From now on, sin no more." Verse 11 of John chapter 8. His message to her was, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And he wants us to believe this as well. As the woman in John 8 discovered, life lived apart from God's love is empty and meaningless without that key element. No matter how gifted, clever, or powerful you are, you continue to fight feelings of shame, loneliness, defeat, and frustration. Beloved, there is only one solution, and that is to surrender your life to Jesus. When you do, He will give you a profound awareness of His love filling and covering you, not just for today, but forever. Beloved, make a list of times that God has saved you from trouble. Notice how those examples reveal His love for you. Now make another list of difficulties God has allowed you to endure. How does the first change the way you look at the second list? In Genesis chapter 3 verse 8, Adam and Eve hide from the Lord because they fear His reaction. But how does God respond when they finally confess? What does He do to show that He still loves them? What assurance does this give us today? Beloved, read John 8, 3 to 11. Describe the people who wanted to throw stones at the adulterous woman. What was the Lord teaching them by bringing to mind their own failures? Then finally, Jesus constantly showed compassion and mercy towards sinners during His time on earth, and we are called to do the same. Have you ever treated someone harshly because of a sin that he or she committed? How should you have reacted instead? If appropriate, make arrangement to apologize to that person. Thank you for listening, and may the good Lord richly bless you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.